depends on your frustration meter. Is how fed up you're going to be. President Trump is out here wilding. He's doing some. I don't understand what he's doing. This whole thing with South Africa, bringing in the white South Africans. They proclaim themselves to be farmers. Could be. He claims they're being genocide. But yet, there's his pictures or photos of when he was trying to make a point was not even from South Africa. These pictures and photos from another country. So, what are we doing? What are we trying to? Are we trying to manipulate the facts just to get white South African refugee status? I just don't understand that. Yeah, we have the Haitians who are in a crisis, but they can't get status. So, amazing how that works, but I'm not surprised. That's just the way the country operates with this current president. It's politics as usual. What can you do? I think they passed this bill, this tax bill. I haven't really been paying attention to that. It's supposed to be middle class tax cuts, but like anything else, politics, there's everything. There's a lot of things that could be hidden within those bills that you might initially, they market it as it's going to be great, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. But then at the end of the day, you'll see how it affects us long term going down several years later. Some say it's a tax cut for the rich. At least that's what the opposition is saying. The Democrats, I don't think one single Democrat actually voted for this latest legislation, but that's where we've been at for the past, seems like the past 10 years now. There seems to not be any movement in trying to operate as a country, as a unit, unified, but that's the way it is when people are trying to hold on to power and also trying to manipulate the facts. So it is what it is. Meanwhile, I bought several religious and history books and hip-hop books as far as the history. So I'll be delving into them as soon as they come. Just trying to get some, you got to educate yourself, man. Everybody's not for the classroom variety of education. I had training for the last 4 days this past week relating to, CMT, medication training. And you get refreshers certification. And people had anxiety in this training class. I mean, a lot of people, I've taken it a few times, but for new hires, they had anxiety. They was asking a bunch of questions, which they should. But there's a lot of anxiety when people taking tests, man, when they're put under the gun. And I get it. It's kind of like they have some apprehension. And that's a phobia, and it's real. I was like that when I was younger. And then I said, you know what, just attack the test. Prepare yourself. And once you see the questions, you'll know right away. And then come back. Don't take too long. Move on and come back. But that's my method. It don't always work. But I try to do that. But yeah, man. But the country, this tax law and all this. People tell me I should look in the camera more. I'm just naturally, I'm just kind of all over the place. That's just how I am. My mannerisms don't mean to, not to offend anyone. But yeah, that's just the way it is. 47 is wilding, as usual. This whole thing with Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation with this alleged new evidence that's popped up. as far as in favor of Tory Lanez being not shooting her, Megan Thee Stallion. And of course, Megan Thee Stallion is sticking to her stories and saying Tory was the one who shot her. So it's just a lot of back and forth. As you know, Tory, it's been a rumor, has been moved, transferred to another, I think, medium security prison. He was, as you know, if you don't know, he was attacked by another inmate that was in that previous prison that he's been held in. He was stabbed 14 times. We still don't know his status. I mean, we got something from the family, but I don't know, what the status of his health. Reportedly, he had 2 collapse. Both lungs were collapsed, but he's able to, they say allegedly, breathe on his own. But that's prison, man. That's why you stay out of it. You try not to get caught up. And the most important thing I know when you're navigating, you clock your time on where you at. Document, because, with these police, man, you stop you and you fit the description, and you meet the description and all this, and the whole same old. But try to document your time. A lot of times, like, that's when your cell phone can really be at an advantage for you, because it pings off of certain things. But again, if you have some type of recall with your memory, because your time, man, you don't have an alibi these days. You don't have an alibi, you can get caught out, because these cops are thirsty to close cases. And sometimes, it's always you meet the description, you fit the description. How often that we hear that? We hear that a lot. You fit the description, and things escalate from there. But know your rights, your constitutional rights. They just can't stop and ask you for your ID. They'll try to trick you, and they get to do little tricks. Supreme Court allowed the police in the investigation to kind of lie, play little trick games with you, but you have to stand firm on your rights. You can't let them just violate your rights. So that's just me. But luckily, I try to avoid situations. I have my ID with me. I give them their respect if they pull me over. It's no big deal. I just go through it. The faster I give them the information I can give them that I think is warranted, then the quicker I can go on about my way. That's how I look at it. But I understand, man. It's kind of, they edge you on sometimes. They poke you, so they. But you gotta do what you gotta do, man. But just to get to the, get on your way, get out of harm's way, because you don't know what these people gonna do. They fishy. They looking to close cases, and like you being a darker hue, you run a greater risk of being shot. I'm just saying. I'm just calling it what it is. But we have to do a better job of just kind of realizing. Let's just get home. Let's just get home. Let's do what we have to do to get home. That's lawful. If it's lawful, let's just try to get through it. But anyway, that's it, man. I just thought I'd drop that in there. Cops are out, man, especially Memorial Day weekend. So be careful, and let's get through this weekend and get safe, man. 1.